Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new spoiler review here on Max House Movies. Today, we're talking about Episode 4, Part 4, Fallen Jedi of the Star Wars show Ahsoka on Disney Plus. If you're new to the channel, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button down below. It helps the algorithm out on YouTube the way it works. The more you guys like my video, the more it will get recommended to other viewers. So please hit that like button. Really help support the channel. Comment down below. We're at the halfway mark of Ahsoka. What are your thoughts? Do you like the show? Love the show? Not like the show with you? Have you seen Rebels? Have you not seen Rebels? Let me know all your backgrounds. I respond to every single comment, so definitely comment down below. And please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new to the channel, we just hit 160 subscribers. Let's get into 170 as quickly as possible. On this channel, do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office show every single Monday. This week, still upcoming, an After Party Season 2 overall spoiler review. Also have a review for The Nun 2 in the next week, and also my box office breakdown show as usual. So please subscribe, ring that bell. And let's get into Ahsoka Episode 4, Part 4, Fallen Jedi. This, for me, is one of the best episodes of Star Wars television ever compared to all of the different shows. And for me, this is my favorite type of thing for Star Wars. And I think, well, yes, I do think Andor is a better show. The one that I probably would love to rewatch, I know we're only 4 of 8 in, is Ahsoka. Now, again, as I state, I don't officially rank shows or get my full opinion on a show of if I love it or if I like it or hate it until the full 8 episodes are out. So for me, I'm loving it through 4 episodes. Does not mean, as I said, we just had a Secret Invasion. I liked the first episode or 2 of that show, and then it went completely downhill. So things can change. That's why I don't like listening to a lot of reviews for TV shows, because they get a limited amount sometimes of episodes. So for me, this was the best episode of the series. It was directed by Peter Ramsey, who came off being one of the directors of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. He did direct 1 episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian. But this is, other than this, he directed Rise of the Guardians, that DreamWorks film, and then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was his acclaim to fame. And this is a beautiful episode which has some great classic, this felt like classic Star Wars. Lightsaber battles, politics, about to get some time travel, Rebels, Jedi Sith in between. It just felt like classic, good old Star Wars. I think this brand has missed for a long time. And it's not a knock on Andor, but this really does feel like the most Star Wars thing that maybe Disney has ever done, under the umbrella, obviously, of now Dave Filoni, who obviously created Clone Wars and Rebels, obviously not with Disney, partner, I guess, with Disney XD for Rebels, but still, this is a great thing, I think, for Disney. And I think Filoni, you can tell, for me, is the right person to move this baton on and be the creative head of Star Wars moving forward. So let's get into this episode in particular. I'm going to breeze through. There's a lot to get into. We start the episode with our villains. Galen, basically, they find out where Ahsoka and Sabine are hiding in. But really, to begin this episode with a lot of tension that kind of becomes resolved, but not really, which is with Ahsoka and Sabine, which is that Ahsoka told Sabine, "Can I count on you?" And Sabine's like, "Well, of course you can count on me." And Ahsoka's like, "Well, if for some reason we're in a situation where we need to blow up the map, we have to destroy the map." And she's basically like, and she does, this is like a 2-scene thing here. But she's like, no matter how much you love Ezra, and she'll be like, Ezra's stranded there. We have to save Ezra. And Ahsoka said, if we don't basically get there first, rather him be stranded there than to start another war, which is getting Thrawn back. So that was what she told her. Honestly, that does not work out later in the episode, which is Sabine probably should have done, but it does not do. So they find out where they are. Hu Yang gets attacked by a robot. We had a great droid fight here, which I thought was really well executed. It looked more practical than it did CGI. I was really impressed with the practicalness of really Hu Yang's whole body this whole episode. But that alerts Ahsoka and Sabine. They go off together, and Hu Yang says, "Please stay together. You guys, it always works out when you guys are together." So they go off. As this is all going on, to get this over with now, Hera obviously is disobeying the New Republic, and she's disobeying orders and is leaving with Jason and Chopper with a couple other, I guess, rebel ships to go after Thrawn and wherever Ahsoka is. So we also get to see a returning Mandalorian character in this episode who is helping out Ahsoka immensely this week. And that is Paul Soon-Hung Lee's character. Sorry, just trying to find the official name for that character. For some reason, I can't. Of Captain Carson, that's right, Captain Carson Teva, who also comes back in this episode. Really good job. So we get a 2-on-2, so they go off trying to find Ahsoka and Sabine. Ahsoka and Sabine go basically one-on-one. Ahsoka goes one-on-one with Marak, which was really compelling. And Sabine goes one-on-one, a rematch of the first episode with Shin Hati. Ahsoka wins her battle with Marak, slices him open, and it's very much like the Obi-Wan move that way to kill Maul in Rebels, where Maul was doing all these things and he just got sliced. And that's the same thing. Marak was trying to spin his lightsaber as an Inquisitor does, and Ahsoka wasn't fooled by it. A lot of green dust, whatever you want to call it, came out of him, which makes me feel like the person inside of Marak is probably dead, but brought back to life through the green witchcraft of the Witches of Dathomir through Morgan Elsbeth. So does not, I don't know if they're ever going to reveal who Marak is, but that for me is just so far from what is relevant to this show. Sabine and Shin Hati have a duel. Things break down when Ahsoka kills Marak, and she's like, and Sabine's like, I got this. Like, Sabine was very confident she can take on Shin Hati. Nothing really happens there. They move on. Ahsoka has an amazing duel with Baylan. And I do want to say this is Ray Stevenson's best performance in this show. It really makes a lot of people hard to bear that he just passed away recently. I really think he would have gotten a lot more major work in major roles post this show. He is opening a lot of people's eyes to him as an actor. He's been in the industry 15, 20 plus years. But it's a shame that he's passed away because this is such an excellent performance that deserves so much praise towards him. So it's this great duel. He starts the duel by saying, Anakin really thought highly of you. And then, Ahsoka was like, I've never heard of you. And he says, everyone's heard of Anakin Skywalker. Not a lot of people have, the rare few have seen what he became. And what does it make you feel, you abandoning him? And so, like I said, I'm not here to talk about my past. And he says, I'm here to reek for my future. Great one-on-one fight. Ahsoka grabs the map with her bare hand, very like Indiana Jones with the villain in the Raiders, where he has the map on his hands after grabbing it. Maybe that happens to Ahsoka and how she can find the rest of the crew at the end of the episode. But at the end, he just kicks her off the platform into the river, where there seems to be to her death. Sabine shows up and sees this, and Sabine threatens to destroy the map, which she should have done because, yes, it would be great to see Ezra, but Thrawn being back in play is another war, which they do not want to have. You already had the Clone Wars, you had the War of the Empire against the Rebellion, and now, which we know is going to happen, the New Republic and the First Order. So Sabine gives in to Baylan, who says, he's your only family that you have, and I keep my words. If you just give me the map, we'll take you to him. It'll be reunited. So Sabine does this. The only major nitpick from a story level is that they continue to tell Sabine that Ezra's her only family, which isn't really true. Again, there's not just Ahsoka, there's Hera, Chopper, wherever Zeb is. She has more family that they're saying, but they're making it like Ezra's her only destiny and her only family, which I'm not sure is the case. Didn't really make me think. It made me think about why that's not the case. So they go to the ship, and as Hera and her troops come in, they do take the jump to light speed. So it looks like next week, especially with Filoni directing it, we're probably going to see Thrawn and Ezra next week as they take the jump. Should be very, very interesting. As we know, Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn, voice-wise, we'll see how he goes from a performance-wise in live action. And we only got one kind of clip scene of Ezra in episode 1 with Eman Esfandi playing Ezra Bridger, and it did not go over particularly great with a lot of fans, but we'll give him, I think Rolf really should give him the chance of being fully in person in an episode. So we'll see how that goes. We end the episode with Ahsoka. We get the shot over the river, beautiful shot, and Ahsoka looks to be in the world between worlds based on that. Now, this could all be, don't know really what's completely going on, but it looks like the world between worlds, which is from season 4 of Rebels. And the first thing you hear is, "Hey, Snips," which is Anakin's nickname to Ahsoka from Clone Wars. I got very choked up and had chills at the moment. Not choked up. I said I had just had so much emotion, positivity, and chills when I heard that. And then Anakin then says, I didn't know I would be seeing you this soon. And Ahsoka turns around, and it is Hayden Christensen in his Revenge of the Sith look for the scene, and then we end it there. I do think that this is in her head a lot too, because Anakin was wearing the same outfit that he wore the last time Ahsoka saw him in the last season of Clone Wars. So with Dave Filoni directing the next episode, it seems like to be a must-watch episode of Ahsoka next Tuesday night. I'm so pumped to continue this show. It should be very interesting to see what Dave Filoni does. But for me, I love this episode. It's one of my favorite episodes of Star Wars TV. I'm adoring everything that's going on with the show from a mythology point of view, an action point of view, performances, especially the directing this episode. This is really special to me, and I'm very excited to see the last 4 weeks. So I'll be back here every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, break down the final half of Ahsoka on Disney Plus. So like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, more videos to come.